the science of ether, the ether utopia of the the Western Ethiopia, which is today modern day Saharan desert Africa, right? Sub-Saharan Africa was called Zululand or Swaziland. The Zulu literally mean the people that walk from the sky, skywalkers, right? And so they was the dominant tribe of those lands, and they job, the Watusi, the Zulu, the Dinka, the Mandingo, all these tribes are supposed to be there to protect the little people from the bullying of the shit that was about to go down. So the little people are the San, the Twa, the Pygmy, and some subsets of Bantu, right? So the language began to be broke up over there. The root language is what they call the Niger-Condorfian stock, the linguistics. So when you study the linguistics, it's telling you how the tribes is divided up by language. Then when you study genetics, you see how the tribes is protectorates of other tribes. So you got some tribes, they're supposed to be what we call farmer tribes, right? And they supposed to feed the warrior tribes. The warrior tribes are supposed to protect the farmer tribes. So this is probably how you reach the balance. When they come over, the first thing they do is they catch us farming, they kill us. And then they put a pink motherfucker in the field and he dropped dead in 2 days. So now they can't kill us. They can't use the pink people because the pink people can't handle the conditions of our land because they're not from here. It's the same problem they ran into in Africa. They end up, King Leopold sent Cecil Rhodes to settle the Congo. And they slaughtered 30 million Congolese people when they went. They deforested the same way they did over here. And then they turned around and hired motherfuckers over there to do it. Right? And nobody was none the wiser to what was going on because the clans had fell into what you call disarray. The leadership was took out first. They always have to take the leaders out first. Get rid of the leaders. Now you got a whole bunch of misleaders trying to fight for a position of power. And if you offer them a strategic advantage over somebody they fighting, you become their ally, which become the detriment to both sides because these motherfuckers is not just trying to conquer them. They trying to conquer your ass too. Now, they did the same thing to us. They had motherfucking Apaches fighting Tomahawk and Choctaw and Cherokee. They had us fighting each other over here. For a long time, we didn't know what was going on. Then one day, Noble Lee infiltrated something called the Moorish Zionist Temple and came out and said, hold up, this ain't us. Who is these motherfuckers? David Walker wrote about it before him. There's some strangers on the land, man. Who the fuck is these people? Then, this is what was out cold. The melanated ones that look like us would pretend to be slaves to the pale slave that they brought over in our presence to confuse us. That was the home run right there. That was the height of theatrical performance. They dressing down, taking off their Quaker clothes, putting on sackcloth so they can look like they struggling. Remember, I know your work's in your poverty, but you rich. You faking ass motherfucker acting like you ain't got no money. And all the time, you in the community undercutting us and tearing us down.
Oh my gosh, Uncle Rod. So like, you be talking about like the town that I moved to a different town, but like the town that I grew up in, I still go there all the time. And we have a female mayor. She's a black woman. And I was telling like my boyfriend, like I be telling him all the time, like I feel like, you know, our town could get what you be talking about, like with the FEMA stuff, like rolling. But I feel like, because I feel like there is awareness, but I feel like nobody really knows like what to do yet. And I feel like too, it is still a lot of like the dirty moors, like, because my boyfriend, he worked like in our, like, we got like a public works like in our town. And it's like, yeah, like, okay, you know what that is. So like, he was a part of that. And he was like, you know, they would be like gossiping and shit like in there. So like, he was like, basically, he found out that our mayor is with a man or whatever, and he's a black man, but like he was saying like he kind of be like trying to undermine her or like put like stuff in her head to like basically make the wrong decisions for our town. Cause like he's also like I think like an attorney or some other like thing in the community. So like she trusts him, I guess. And like he was saying like he kind of be like leading her astray or trying to. And I was just like, I don't know, like that was just so like I feel like that's so crazy because it really do be like anybody. But that was also like a question that I had, like how do you even get past that? Like how do you think I feel like it's kind of what you were saying, just more like the general awareness. But I don't know,
Yeah,
I'd be
so
wondering
we
like a
we was using $5 Indians to put them on notice and serve eviction notices. Turnabout is fair play. The same motherfucker way they use pale faces to pretend that they ain't the ones behind this shit. We sent the same motherfuckers back to them to tell them to get off our shit.
that's what they did in
Now, the
Georgia.
most critical city to put on notice was Atlanta. That's because of the Trail of Tears and Andrew Jackson. Everything that came after that is on notice. Atlanta being put on notice, notice to agent is notice to principal. By putting Atlanta on notice, everybody that came across that Appalachian Mountains is already on notice. So you don't have to go every city. You got to get the key cities, right? In certain places, we've sent in $5 Indians to put people on notice because our people so traumatized from the Conjure War, we freeze under confronting these people now. We don't know what to do. Cancel the fucking contract. Abandon the fraud and cancel the contract. That's the only remedy in law. When the fraud is discovered, the only remedy is the abandonment defense. If you discover the fraud and you say, well, I'm going to wait 2 days, you've been in that fraud for 2 days actively participating, knowing full well you participating in the fraud. That make you the same guilty as the motherfucker committing the fraud because now you are what's called a party to the crime. But in the abandonment defense, hold up, this ain't right. I'm deuces. I ain't participating in that fuckery. And you leave. And they gone home with the fraud. They not going to stop the fraud because we walk away from it. They ain't going to stop the fraud until it's enough of us walk away from it that it doesn't work no more. And we pretty much there. We've been using $5 Indians the same way they used them when they came over here. We've been running them motherfuckers right up their ass. And now they don't know what to do because the same motherfuckers they used to oppress us is breaking us free because of the trauma we went through. We not psychologically equipped to stand up to the man. So don't worry about it. I'm psychologically equipped for that shit. I'll run up in that motherfucker and snatch him up off the bench from behind the counter at the police. I don't give a fuck. But my chief told me I'm brain banging and I don't have to like this shit. I'm just good at it.
Right. You
got anything else before I take another caller, sweetie?
I did have really one last thing, and it was kind of off of what I was talking about. It was really about the kids. I recently started like working. I don't have like any background with like kids at all, and low key like growing up like from like the relationship that I had like with my mom and my younger brothers for a while. I did not like children. Like I didn't want to have kids, nothing like that. But like in like the middle of high school, I don't know, something had just switched and like I just love children. Like oh my gosh, I would like how you be coming about the kids. That's how I be coming about the kids. Like anybody's kids. I don't even care if I don't know you. Like, but I started working at this school recently, just like as a job, and that ringing in the ears that you be talking about, like I would get that at home sometimes, but it hadn't been happening for a while. And then once I started working like at the school, I would be sitting in the classroom like with the kids, and I'm an aide, so like I just sit with them like and help with the teacher really.
Mm-hmm.
But I would be journaling and stuff like I'd be journaling just like in my book and stuff, and I would just have that ringing like in my ears like, and it would be kind of like piercing but a very low volume, and then it would kind of go away. But I noticed it really only happens when I'm at the school with the kids. And also since I started working there, like everybody's just been like, you're amazing with the kids, like you should do this like as your job, like. But I be telling them like I couldn't work like as an actual teacher, like in what we have set up right now as a school. Like I would need us to have that new system set in place before I could do some shit like that, because like I feel like the school systems that we have now is really just like many prison systems. Like the way that they set up is really military.
It is.
Like just so it's
Yeah,
not meant for
I go back to, we never had schools before. Schools and prisons is the newest social things on our land. We didn't have schools. We used to learn in Big Mama's kitchen, on Big Papa's barn. We had different method of teaching. It was, if you read Neely Fuller, he called it the open air method. The open air method is way more effective in teaching our children than the four walls method. The four walls method is school, which comes from the Yiddish word shul, which comes from the Hebrew word sheol. Yeah.
That shit is hell for them kids. And I'm like, I'm not to cut you off, but as an adult, like the other adults be in there and they're like, yeah, are you having a rough day? Or like, and I'm just like, why did y'all pick this job? Like y'all hate these kids, really.
It ain't the kid.
And I'm like, why do y'all have this job? Like I really love them kids, and don't get me wrong, some of them kids, you know, you do need a little extra time with them, but I feel like it's hell exactly that. So like the way that it's set up, they can't get that one-on-one care that they really need to help them. It's just like, this is a problem child and they just need to be dealt with, or their parents need to deal with them. And I'm like, that's not, I don't know. That really bothers me. And I'm like, I don't know. That really
Elijah Muhammad's description of a black devil is an original man who acts other than himself. Right? So when you're looking at what he's saying, the school system teaches you to act like you from Europe. Why the fuck I want to act like I'm from Europe when I'm from over here? Right? Why do I want to wear buckle heels when I'm more comfortable wearing moccasins? That make this shit make sense. So if we become devil by behaving other than our true self, their school system teaches us how to behave like they want their children to behave. This is why they are on what they call fast forward to the.
Kids don't even need all that.
Hell, they shouldn't even be talking about nothing sexual until right before puberty. They don't need sex education in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade. What the fuck wrong with you people? They want to know about, boys want to know about cars and trucks and dogs and shit in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. Girls want to know about how to do my hair, teach me how to make my makeup on, put my fingernails on, but they ain't thinking about fucking. Right? Girls is trying to learn how to primp so they know how to be pretty when they older. Boys want to learn how to, you know, do masculine release things. You know, they want to ride in the rodeo and shit. They got us thinking that that's a pale man. I mean, we invented that shit. Look, the Apaches was the first ones that used to do what they call underbelly riding in war. They slide around that horse, you won't even know that the horse is coming, got people on them because they under the fucking horse, riding him from underbelly. How in the fuck do you do that? Right? But they had that shit to a science. And now they telling us that Buffalo Bill Cody, who really ain't that guy they be showing us the pictures of, he really looked more like the picture of Bass Reeves than the picture that they showing us of Buffalo Bill. But okay, you want to whitewash history, go ahead, whitewash history. But when you find out the baddest motherfucking horsemen that ever trained horses, break horses, they all look like us. They called us cowboy because they didn't want to call us man. Hey, boy, go fetch my cow. What? How we going to get the cow if we ain't riding a fucking horse? We ain't gonna run that motherfucker down on our feet, right? And I was listening to Dick Gregory talking about how he scolded Bob Marley about that song Buffalo Soldier. Is they chief, and this is why Cobra Stones fall under the Peace Stone Nation.
Okay.
As long as Angel Bay here, they chief walked spiritually with him, and this is why how they create their alliances.
Okay. Make perfect sense. Can't get somebody.
Look, I'm a GD. I was born into this. My mama a Vice Lord. My daughter a Peace Stone.
Oh wow.
But
we family.
Here go the kicker. Just like in my family on my motherland, I'm the G stuck in the middle.
We family.
Right? But on my fatherland, I'm a chip off the old block because his nickname was Fork.
Oh, oh wow. Fork. Oh wow.
Fork
Oh wow.
is that's the trident of the Disciple Nation.
Oh wow.
Remember, at one point it only had one trident. We was
I don't
at
know
that
too
time we was
much about
devil
the slang.
disciples.
The devil
We was devil
disciples.
disciples, right?
Wow. I don't know too much about that.
Yep, you done seen it. It's the little Casper devil with the pitchfork. That's the logo. That's the symbol.
Pastor Devil
The
with
little
the
red
pitchfork.
devil with
You
the
know what?
pitchfork.
Yeah. I saw that on. I probably saw a logo of that
It's in the
somewhere.
literature. All right, go back and look in the literature at the imagery. It's the little devil with the pitchfork, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's the baby.
Oh,
I was
is it
born in
the blueprint?
'68.
Did it make? Okay, question. Did the blueprint make it to the public domain yet?
I've been trying to get a copy of it, but
I got you.
Shorty Bible is, he a walking hafiz for us. He got the whole blueprint dedicated to memory, to all the literature.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's why he was accepted everywhere by all the folks, because he was recognized by the entire board. He hadn't memorized that shit by the time he was like 12. That's
Whoa.
what they
I
used
know
to
we was
call it. That's
heavy.
why he got his nickname, Shorty Bible. But he got
Oh
videos on
wow! Wow! Get out of here! I did not know that.
yeah.
That's
So
why you
he
got
got
pretty Bible.
yeah, and he
Wow.
got videos on TikTok where he's going over. This is for for our clan, but other clans can benefit from the information, and so we put it in the public domain.
Okay, that part.
Mm-hmm.
But the master blueprint is not in the public domain.
Not as far as I know.
Okay.
It was once in print.
Well, I know I got a piece of
Yeah,
it.
it was once in print. It was the blue book, the GD blue book,
Mm.
and then
Wow, we
um,
family.
yeah. And whoever was printing it must either they got banned by the government, because I think it went out of print around the same time as the ghetto apparel went out of business.
Oh, really? I know this white guy. He published it. I forget his name. I think he passed away. But it's a bad piece of work. I'll tell you that much.
You don't know about the WGDs on the north side, do you?
No, I don't.
Them
I'm a little girl from the South.
the white gangster disciples.
Wow.
They
Really?
They got a member on the board.
Wow. That's interesting.
They ain't allowed to wear tattoos because they got to be able to pass off as a politician or a doctor or a lawyer. They're not allowed to wear tattoos.
Really? They got to pass off as a professional?
Yep. That was when we made alliances with them, or Larry and them made alliances with them when they leadership was getting arrested, and then he's like, well, the conversation went something like, what do we do, you know what I'm saying, with our youth if we want to make this alliance? And Larry said, tell them no tattoos, and they all got to go to school for something.
And I remember that in my teenage. We had to go to school, no lying, no stealing. I remember all that stuff. Yeah. However, what is something else I wanted to ask you? Why I got you? You know, you're a hard person to catch up with. Oh my God, Brother Rod. Hey, this is my first time. You know how long I've been following you. I know somebody else want to get to you. This is dope. It's absolutely dope. Oh my God, there's something else. I know why I got you. It's gonna come in my head.
See that happening.
I was feeling in my soul.
If that
too.
happened, there's still the stage show anyway. It won't matter. But I don't see it even happening. I think because we're so close to closing out everything in this.
Oh,
we in phase 4 of reconstitution of government, right? You know, in Tallahassee a couple weeks ago, I went down there for the coronation of the Empress. Tribally speaking, that's the equivalent of a constitutional convention in the appointment of the leadership, right? And the leadership you can only choose by blood and by right. So remember, in the U.S. Constitutional Convention, it was only 70 people there. Only 55 of them voted for the Constitution. So you don't need the whole of the country. You just need the right people from the right bloodline in the right place at the right time to tie it all together.
Okay.
And so when that happened, that was on the heels of putting everything out in the public domain. The reason why she knew who I was and I knew who she was before we met, because her receipts that they was giving her, every time I successfully done something in the redemption process of the tribes, the settlers got to give her the corresponding paperwork. That's the receipt, right?
Wow.
So this is how she knew who I was, and I knew I was able to verify who she was. So now, while she is showing me certain stuff or we had conversations, I can go back to 2018, 2019 to bring her a receipt that's dated before the conversation between me and her ever came up, because I could say, I already did that. She was like, show me. And now I got to show her in the public record. And the first thing she got to check is the date. And
so it's stuff going on that we don't even know about.
It's going on in everybody's face. It's just that they don't know what they're looking at.
Okay.
That disconnected from their bloodline and their family, and they that indoctrinated by social structure of the settlers, the colonizers. That their culture is being rolled out in front of them. And we following a very specific process called the redemption process that can only be used at the close of the age. This is the artificial conjure, so everything is artificial to give us a mirror image of what was real.
Okay.
So by following the process, they get the same way that they came in. It's the same way that they go out. Okay. They started with George. When they started with George Washington and they ended with George Bush. The Obama, he wasn't even born here. So as soon as he was elected president, that ended everything. Their whole corporate structure is gone. But here go the problem. The people don't know. The people in the corporation doesn't know the rules that runs the corporation. So they can't even enforce their own rules on the fraud taking office. And this is why Trump was raising hell about the birth certificate, and people thought it was an attack on him because he was melanated. Trump was telling you the whole time, Barack Obama, he ain't from here. He's a clone. He's from a laboratory.
Whoa, dang. Woo, ouch.
They tell
you know how bad
the story. Look, his laboratory creation story is called The Demon Seed.
Dang.
His birth story is Rosemary's Baby.
Oh, wait.
His childhood.
Do you know how bad that hurt?
Look, his childhood and family upbringing was given to us as the Omen 1, 2, and 3.
Whoa. Do you know how bad that hurt? It's happening right in front of our face. We don't know what the heck is going on. Look,
when I was telling people this back when he was running for office, I was like, y'all voting for the devil himself.
Dang.
If y'all want to know who the Antichrist was that need to be deposed, that's going to trigger the people to stand up for themselves, and one of the ones with the blood and the right going to say that nigga don't belong here, and it was him.
This boy, I argued this boy up and down. He kept telling me that. I was so blind. I was like, boy, you crazy. Get up on my face. He was saying he the Antichrist. I was like, boy, get out of here. People were saying that.
Look, his track record verifies who he is. All it is the CIA, the Mossad, the KGB, MI5, MI6, and all of the secret societies are working. They all working together to weave reality out of the book called the Bible in order for us to know how to bring it to an end. So the ones of us that's watching them play this game, we not born veiled. That means that we born with a certain way to see the world that other
We can see
people
our
not.
seers.
Right.
Yes, we are
So
seers. Yes.
when we see them playing their game, we recognize the game that they playing. But as an adolescent and a child, you're not mature enough to explain to the other people about how the game is played and who the players are. And this is what make us, people like me, stay away from all of the Washington D.C. shit.
Naysayers.
No, not the naysayers. You need naysayers, because if you don't have
Absolutely right.
naysayers, there is no counterbalance to the truth.
Got you on that. Got you on. It needs to be a balance. It
Yeah,
needs to be a counterattack.
right.
Got
So
you.
if you
Got
telling the
you.
truth, one thing about it, the worst thing that you could tell somebody is the truth, because that offends more than a lie. A lie is
They gotta have a debate. Gotta have a debate.
a lie is only offensive to the ones who love the truth, but the ones who love the lie, live the lie, and love to lie to others, the lie is a comfortable norm to them. They the ones that swear up and down when they go see David Copperfield that he's not going to trick them into believing that airplane, that big ass DC-10, disappeared. But after the show, they trying to figure out how they got tricked. But he told them before they went he was finna trick them. They got comfortable lying to themselves. Therefore, when the illusion took place, they didn't know what stream of information in their soul to follow.
Man, God raised up a good one. You got raised up, brother. Thank you for answering the call.
Look, it's just family business. And I'm just doing what the family need me to do with the development of skills that I developed. Trying to be the best me I can be. I did not expect any of this to be the result of me trying to be the best me I could be. But my literature told me that I should help any and all brothers and sisters of the struggle in any and all righteous endeavor. It didn't say I can't help Angel Bay because he peace stoning no folks. If he right, he right.
Absolutely.
Okay. It don't mean that because Tukey from the West Coast and we from the Midwest that I can't speak up for the Crip King.
Right.
Right? Because he was right. They set him up they set him up exactly the same way they set up Geronimo Pratt. If you read Geronimo Pratt case and you read Tukey case, you're going to swear up and down that you confused the two cases because they're that similar.
Wow.
It took Johnny,
I read his bio.
it took Johnny Cochran 27 years to prove that Geronimo Pratt was set up. But wasn't nobody fighting. Wasn't nobody fighting for Tukey. Because he was the king of the Crips. And then the government said he's a gang leader. But the government didn't tell the people when they was calling him a gang leader that they know that under COINTELPRO, a gang mean a tribe.
Woo! Oh my God, nothing but a trap. Nothing but a trap.
So they got the people believing that the gang is an organized criminal band of misfits.
Nothing but a trap.
Right. And then, so when the tribes reconstitute, because you only going to break us up for so long because we're going to always gravitate back to our chief. There's three chiefs. There's three chiefs as the three high chiefs of the land. Big Tukey, Larry Hoover, and Angel Bay.
Okay.
All right. So it's family business because all parts of the family is doing their part in the recovery of what belongs to the family. So the part that I'm doing, only because I'm the only one that asked the unorthodox questions that found out the unorthodox answer, that the white man ain't white. It wasn't a pale face, but they hid behind pale faces.
Woo.
They used the colors code as the caste system to usurp the minds of the people into believing that it's about skin when the white man not white and Black man, not black. They both shades of brown, and they both got kinky hair. They grow up in our neighborhoods and our families, and the only way you know that they not us is because they don't move in love.
Like us. Right. They're not righteous. Absolutely.
Right. And because we belong here, we have an extra compassion for those who come here.
Yes.
Because Big Mama always taking in somebody old ratchet ass child.
All the time. All the
And
time.
we be the uncles that be sitting there like, why is she taking this ratchet ass kid in, knowing this motherfucker finna fuck the house up?
He ain't no good.
But Big Mama say all the baby need is some love and he'll be all right. Well, he ain't a baby no more, Big Mama. This nigga grown now. You can't love this grown ass nigga and reverse that bullshit he was taught when he was little.
Rod Hayes, that's nothing but the truth. That's nothing but the truth. My goodness, that's nothing but the truth.
So then what's the remedy? Now that it's been proven that she took that ratchet motherfucker kids in, him and his stinking ass kids, he poisoned her, took mama name out of Big Mama house and called it the big house, lied to us in the barracks, because that's what they was, family barracks. They was little, we lived, we lived as a community. And he lied to us and told us that the whole world is at war, and if you leave the farm, you're going to get executed. And all the time, he hired Mr. Sally and Mr. Charlie to come in and oversee the ones on the field. And this nigga is using Big Mama's death as an excuse to sell the land, knowing good and goddamn well, now one of us is going to ever sell no land under any conditions. Because
they gotta go.
You can't sell what don't belong to you.
They gotta go.
So that's why we was able to trace the sweetheart swindle, because my dumb ass want to ask questions like, who is the black hen and where them niggas go and where they come from, right? Who is this house nigga? Where he come from and how he get to wear a suit and the rest of us got to wear these rags?
Right.
And why is they calling Big Mama house a plantation when it was just a family farm that all of the teenagers had to come to when they got old enough to do their share of the family work? And now they done turned them into POW camps, but we ain't none the wiser because we listening to this nigga up in the house. Because he was laying next to Big Mama before he killed her. So,
you summed that up so well.
Now that we know what they did, the only remedy is to do unto others. Because they didn't already did it to us.
Right. They gotta go.
We ain't looking for revenge. We just trying to give everybody what they owe, good, bad, or indifferent, without prejudice or discrimination. If the motherfucker earned it, give it to him. If he earned the guillotine, give it to him. If he earned getting his back skins ripped off, doused with salt, soaked in lighter fluid, and set the fuck on fire, give him what he earned.
I know. Give him what he earned, give it to him. And then they gotta go. They got to go, brother.
If they earned a righteous reward, then righteously reward them.
Absolutely.
If I don't want nothing, don't belong to me.
My nigga Chief Pontiac, man. What's that word, bro?
What it do?
Man, bro, I got some questions for you, bro. For real, dog. Because I've been trying to figure this shit out.
Let's go.
We got, the Vice Lord's checking in, too, by the way. I know you remember me, though, but, Finn.
Oh, yeah.
But look, our question is this, bro, because you got all these people, I feel like the moon, I don't know whether that bitch trying to backdoor me or I could trust it. Because, it's so many different paradigms on the moon. Motherfuckers say it's a spaceship, or they'll say it's the mother energy. You know what I'm saying? It's the feminine aspect. Because it's like we got the masculine from the sun, and then we got the feminine from the moon, and that makes sense because it's the balance of both. But then they try to say it's a spaceship, So should I fuck with the moon, or should I really look? Because I heard you say one time you like that motherfucker take off whenever something ain't right with that motherfucker.
Yeah, if the war, well, if it's a war going on in a certain part of the universe, that motherfucker was, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
The moon was put there. We have a recorded record of a time before the moon. You remember the movie Avatar?
Yeah.
The moon of Saturn, called Lilith, used to be the moon that gave us our nightlight. The
Mm-hmm.
Lilith moon made the nighttime look like you was under a black light in the club. You see all that fluorescent shit that be shining?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Damn,
Imagine
that's
all of
crazy.
these beautiful flowers in nature at nighttime under a black light, a black moon. That
Yeah,
was
it's glowing
the
like.
Lilith energy. The Lilith energy, certain women access it during what we call the dark phase of the moon. The women learn because they put the moon there for several purposes. One was to interfere with the natural biorhythm of the women. And the
Right.
women felt the energy and they came up with something called moon magic.
Mm.
Moon magic is the way that they learned how to control that energy in the 3D when the um, lunar energy is overriding their Lilith self. So the
Mm.
divine feminine self has been usurped by patriarchs who want to control the reproductive rate of the women and want to take that control from
Hey, you
them.
see look at these cats over here. They tripping, man. They feeling this energy. It's two cats right here under this whip. They fucking with us, man. You know they spiritual. This bitch over
Hmm.
here tweaking. But nah, that's crazy you say that, cause like you say, the periods is based off the moon cycle.
Hmm.
So we know it got something to do with the feminine energy. So it's like, but you say the Lilith, yeah, they bring that Lilith out of them. That shit crazy though. So, damn. Shit, that's really my question for real. You know, I sit and ask a bunch of questions all fucking day. You know, Chief Pontiac got them answers, boy. Well studied, well studied. But shit, I ain't on shit, man. Hey, I just want to say free Jeff Ford, free Larry Hoover, man. Free them Chiefs, man. You know, like you
For
say,
sure, for
you don't
sure.
have when you need them 1,000 vice lords, I'm coming with you. We slaying shit. I'm on that.
They already
Whoever,
know what's up, man.
if they,
Look, they think that we wasn't gonna never figure out that they was putting the families against each other.
man,
But
nah, we
our
finna.
OGs gonna tell us.
Oh, fan. That's what I'm saying. Like, hey, like you said, who right is who right. I don't give a fuck what chief you under. If you right, you right, and I'm coming for who righteous, man. Shit.
Yeah, that's
We got whatever a motherfucker looking for. So y'all be under Chief Pontiac shit tripping. We coming, man. So don't be playing like that. I'm gone, bro. I'm gone, bro.
all right.
Love, bro. Appreciate you.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. I've been watching you for a minute on my man Black Magic 363. You know what I'm saying? I said, man, I gotta tap
brother
in on the
Rich, I
live.
love that brother.
Yeah, man.
Me and brother Rich be talking. We get to
Man,
talking, and then he'll say, "Hey, we gotta do a show on this." We just be having a
man,
regular
man.
conversation.
And I'm trying to tell you, man, it's an honor to be able to tap in with you. I just wanted to tap in on when you say, cause see, me and my mother, we recently just acquired moving over to Ghana. You know what I mean? Just to, you know what I mean, broaden our horizon. But on my father's side, my cousin like, man, we from here. I'm like, yeah, I know that. I know that for very well. You know what I mean? Because my great great grandmother was, you know what I mean, part of that tribe. Like she had one real long hair, you know what I mean, all the way down to the ground, used to drag. My mother told me about. So what I want to know, I'm coming out of Baltimore. I'm born from Baltimore, you know what I'm saying? Most of my family been out of Baltimore and New York. So how do I find out, yeah, I mean, what part of tribe that I actually come from on the land?
It's, you can watch your natural behavior, and then
Okay,
you can watch wherever we group up at.
okay,
That's wherever we at in the group. That's tribing up. And if
okay.
you see the group that's doing stuff that express how you feel, find out who they are. Because when
Absolutely.
when they life living their life and just regular, they still following things that's natural to who we are. And then
Absolute.
this is how a lot of people will come from a different place, and they'll be older, but they'll join on to the local tribe, what they call gangs,
Right.
right? Because the what they call in the gang is a tribe, and the way that they moving, the genetic memory of the newcomer is cliques. Them my people.
Absolute.
That's my
Absolute.
family. I got to be over there. So then they'll go join on with them.
Absolute.
But we have other organizations that they don't call gangs that we click
Right.
up in, and they call them brotherhoods and biker clubs and
Absolute.
stepper clubs, right? Because
Absolute.
you had different tribes that held certain stuff that we do is sacred, and
Absolute.
it's
And
still in the blood. So we join on to the ones who feel that, and we feel it on the inside. And
absolute.
then when we see it on the outside, we wonder why they doing that, because that's how I feel.
Exactly. And it's beautiful that you say that because I've been part. So I met Brother Rich back when he was like on the block doing this thing. Now, you know what I mean, transition. We in the technology world. Now he's on online with it. Now I met him and I met Brother Blue Pill and Red Pill in Harlem, New York. You know what I'm saying? So now when I moved down to Atlanta, I wound up coming across these brothers again. We wound up traveling up the Magic Mountain and actually doing that ancestor work that you actually talking about. So I definitely, I mean, understand when you say that.
Me and
And I
Blue
be telling people,
talked about that before he set that up.
for
He,
real,
yeah,
man,
we was on first. We was on Brother Rich, and then he called me after that because I was telling them that Stone Mountain was a was one of the mounds, the pyramid mounds.
right, one of the biggest quartz crystal in the world, right?
You go if you get close, you can feel it.
Absolutely, yeah. We did a lot of moon magic up there. You know what I mean, coming in, you know what I mean. So yeah, for certain. So
Mm-hmm.
I understand. I felt like that. I just really wanted the confirmation on it to see exactly that's what it is for certain. Another question. What is you ever coming down to the Atlanta area anytime soon?
Not sure. Brother Rich trying to get me to go to a function down there, but
Yeah,
I got to make sure that whatever I'm doing, my my services got to
absolutely,
be all available for the Empress if she need me, and I don't want to
absolutely, absolutely.
set no dates on
Nope.
nothing because
Okay.
the work that she doing is the most important work on the land right now.
No, for certain. Yeah, yeah.
So
The
I want to
yeah. No,
agree to come somewhere. Then she tell me she need me somewhere, and I gotta cancel.
Showing the screen, so we goody now. Send this to my little chat real quick. But yeah, how you feeling? How you feeling, family?
Oh, you know me, man. I'm shit. I be like, fuck my feelings. I'm trying to do some other shit.
I feel you. Yeah, feelings could get you fucked up. I feel you though. Straight up. But yeah, bro, like as I was telling you, as we was talking, bro, I feel like I'm gonna start off just like just on nationality basis because I feel like you got an interesting perspective, and I definitely want to hear your intellect just on how it is that you feel. But as I was telling you though, bro, in the messages, you feel me? I was a felon, you feel me? So I didn't want to be looking over my shoulder, you feel me? So I felt like if I did certain things to where I could move in a way that's free, that's kind of why I went my route because as I was telling you, I'm a Sabine and Nuwapian. But I knew that could help me out as far as where I could be able to move. You get what I'm saying? Freely, if that makes
Look,
sense to
man,
you.
I got a felony too. It ain't stopped me from doing shit I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Like a lot of doors got shut in my face, but every time doors got shut in my face, you know me, I'm gonna kick another one in.
No, I feel you.
So
But
look, let's get into this nationality thing. So
sure,
you have a clear understanding of what is it all about.
no doubt.
All right. First of all,
when we talk nationality, the law of nations is codified under the Uniform Commercial Code as international business affairs using admiralty law as the prime application for the Uniform Commercial Code. The historical description of the Uniform Commercial Code is the Ancient Code of Thieves. The Ancient Code of Thieves is all that shit you see in there on how a thief can take your shit, live off of it until you reclaim it.
Exactly.
You know, so all nations are registered corporations in the international arena because they are companies. United States Corporation is a company. London is a company that had other companies under it. They was under the Vatican, right? So the three city states, London, Vatican, and DC, formed the 3 points of the empire that we knew as the ancient Babylonian Empire. As it morphed through time, we lose track of the actors and what they doing because we get caught up in taking sides and not following who doing the dirt. Okay, so now they set out corporate interests that's passed off under the pretext of nationality. All right, we ain't know this at the time of Noble Drew Ali. We didn't understand how nationalizing was tying us to a legal fiction. We didn't understand it at the time of Martin Luther King.
And you're
Right?
gonna have to like build for that too, Rod, if, you know what I'm saying, just for the people so that they can understand, you know, like, you know, that fiction that you're talking about.
Right. So a legal fiction in the courts is called a straw man.
Yeah, exactly.
Our nations are straw men. When you make an allegiance to follow the laws and bylaws of the corporation, that make you a straw man as well, a legal fiction, right? But the juristic person is being passed off as the legal fiction. When you say juristic person, you're talking about the organic people to the land from wherever they from, right? The ones who have the birthright ties to the land and the blood right ties to the land to clean up the motherfucking land. That's custodians, right? So this corporate legal fiction called nations is just another tool of divide and conquer because it's nationality that they use in modern day slavery.
So
See,
in other
they
words,
trick you.
Rod, you saying it's like a matrix. I'm just trying to comprehend, you know, what it is you saying too, and I want the people to be able to comprehend. You saying it's like another matrix in the other form.
It's the same matrix.
Got you.
It's designed that everything you do to escape it, as long as you using the system they gave you, only dig you deeper into it. Right? The paper trap is a paper chain. It's an adhesion contract. Adhesion contract means you don't even really have knowledge that you signing the contract, but you signing the contract anyway. Right? They call them take it or leave it contract. You can't drive on the street without a driver's license, so you need a driver's license to drive. That's not true. They'll tell you it's true, but there's nowhere in the Constitution say you need a driver's license to traverse the land. Nowhere in the Constitution do it say you need a green card to traverse the land. Right? Nowhere in the Constitution do it tell you that in order to do business and travel across this land, that you have to register with the state. Okay, now, this takes us to inalienable rights. Who got inalienable rights? You know the answer to that question?
You said who got? I would say it's our people.
We supposed to have inalienable rights, but nobody has inalienable rights who do not know how to apply their inalienable rights to reality.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you don't remember your culture and your traditions of enforcing your inalienable rights, right? Then you subject to the jurisdiction of the corporation, because the corporation is operating under a papal bull that says we are imbeciles in law. If you're imbecile in law, you're a ward of the court. Right? So whether you're a ward of the court as a Moorish American, a Mexican American, or any other kind of American, you're still under their jurisdiction.
Absolutely.
So we wasn't aware of that. When Martin discovered it, this is when he started talking about he integrated his people into a burning house. He didn't understand when he was doing civil rights marches that he was actually fighting a corporation to give them a straw man status as a civil citizen. Civil means legal. Citizen means subject to the corporation. So they was fighting all the time to be legally subjected to the corporation. Right? So they whole system that we fighting to be a part of is the system we supposed to have been overthrowing that motherfucker. Right? But we forgot that we ain't come on ships. Right? We forgot that we was already here. We forgot to follow our ancestral ways, because our ancestral ways tell us how to reclaim the land and restore the people. Right? If you have an illegal company operating in an artificial capacity as if it's legit, right? You legit when you can exercise your inalienable rights. Right? There ain't nothing they can do. We was never supposed to be part of the system. We fought to be part of a system that didn't have nothing to do with us.
Once you say our people created this, I got somebody trying to come up too. I'm gonna bring them up. But once you say though, more so as far as like when it come down to like everything, with us being like, you know, the first people that was actually here, that we created everything. So even if it was a system in play, we had to create that, because you get what I'm saying.
All of the
What you say?
systems is constructs from the psyche. The systems is based on something. When you understand what systems is based on, you can trace them back to who was
on a live with my with other Moors. You don't have to be a Moor. Nobody has to be a Moor. No, you don't force Moor on anybody. But the people that tell you half of the story is only telling you half of the story. So the people that you learn your story from are not Moors, but they also tell you that you are Moor. And in any history book that you go and find, you'll find that we were Moors. We are ancient Moors.
On this land, we wasn't Moors before 1492.
On this land, we were. What do you mean? On this land, this land was called.
Moor is an English word. We wasn't
Moor is not a. Wait.
We wasn't speaking English over here. Moor is a word used to translate words from different languages to tie two different people together.
All right, so you said Moor is the English. Wait, Moor is an English word.
Moor is an English word. Do the etymology on it.
Oh wait. The word Moor is going to mean the same in any language on the planet. It means the same word. Any language.
No, it don't.
Name a language. Name a language.
No, it
Name
don't.
a language. Name one language.
Look, in French it ain't Moor. It's Moray.
Moray. That's French. Why would it be English? English is only for commerce. It's only for commerce.
See, now you're going back to the legal fictions. Because the commerce is governed under Uniform Commercial Code, deriving the nations and the law of nations is the legal fictions. That's the deception.
Nature knows no color line.
Joel A. Rogers.
J.A. Rogers.
J.A. Joel is his first name.
Yeah, I know. I don't know about Joel, and I ain't never calling him by his first name. But
his first name is Joel. Joel
all right, in this book, in this book, what do we call us in this book?
A whole bunch of different shit.
What? All right. So you telling me that the word more is an English language, is an English word.
Yep.
All right. What year was it created?
The exact year I don't know, but I know
It's
that we
actually
wasn't
Latin.
Moors
It comes
before
from
1492.
So the word Moabite that's English too?
That's not even the same word. Don't got nothing to do
Latin.
with each other.
The Ruth the Moabites was what?
From the tribe of Moab.
And what do more means? More means Moabite.
No, it don't.
Yes, it does.
Okay, you already don't know what you're talking about, so we can end
Look,
this conversation right
if
here.
you let me explain it to you, I can explain
Moabite
it
ain't
to you.
got look. The Moabites is the children of Moab, which is the son of Lot. That's where that term comes from. Moab. Moab and Moor is not the same word.
Listen, Mo, listen. The Moabites got permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to start their own kingdoms. What kingdoms did they start?
Show me where that's at.
So wait. Well, before I show you this, and I'll read it to you, right? Listen, before I show it to you and read it to you,
I got
right?
a good Moorish education, and I
No,
already
it's
know
not
where
an
you're coming
education.
from.
No, it's not an education.
Stop. Just listen to me. Because right now, we finna go into something, and I don't think you wanted the dirty Moors. So I don't want to go through this with you like I would one of the dirty Moors. I think listen. I think you one of the ones, like I was at one time, who understood Noble Drew Ali was a Cherokee high chief, indigenous to the land, and you got the blood. So you gonna defend that because your respect and honor for Noble Drew Ali. You not one of them, bro.
All right, so wait,
listen, you not one of them dirty Moors. Listen.
You told me to prove it to you. So
hold on. Just listen, let me finish what I'm saying. You not one of the dirty Moors. I can tell already where you coming from, what level you on, and this conversation right here is really finna get ugly because it's the same old rhetoric I've been dealing with for over 30 years. I already been through all of that.
Been through what?
What whole discussion
What temple are you a part of? Wait, time out. You talking about Noble Drew Ali? What temple are you a part of?
I'm not part of no temple.
So how are you talking about Noble Drew Ali when he talked about telling people to join the temple?
That was 1929 before they got murdered.
That's our prophet. That's our prophet, Mo. How can you tell me that you talking about Noble Drew Ali when he told us to be in the temple?
Listen.
I'm in temple. I'm in supporting the temple.
Where the knowledge was at in 1929, that shit didn't stop there.
I never said it did. When I'm telling you, you mentioned Noble Drew Ali.
Listen.
I didn't stop anywhere.
You had to because you running the same old run-of-the-mill rep.
No, my green sheik is Emiliel. Not Noble Drew Ali.
Okay, well, that's a whole nother bloodline. That's a whole nother line with a whole nother history.
Noble Drew Ali, before he died, made Emiliel a supreme grand sheik before he died. Huh?
Just because he made him a grand sheik don't mean he gave him the power of the whole lodge.
He did. What do you mean? I can show you the document.
Look, we really don't want to get into this right now.
No, listen. You can't. If you're gonna let me talk, let me talk. I know you want to speak your rhetoric.
Go ahead, handle your business.
So what I'm saying to you is, you told me to show you. Listen, you told me to show you, right?
Go ahead.
You told me to show you, right? I told you that the Ruth the Moabites was a Moor, right? You said she wasn't, right? So what
I said Moabite and Moor not the same word.
It is the same thing because the pharaohs of Egypt gave the Moabites, the Canaanites, and the Hittites permission to start their own kingdoms. The kingdoms that they start was Morocco, Algiers, Tripoli, and Tunis.
Morocco didn't start until the motherfucking 1900s.
Is you high, man? Are you high?
Yes, I am. I am absolutely high as fuck.
This flag right here, that flag is an American flag from
that 5-point green star have not been on that motherfucker 110 years.
I'm telling you that Morocco that you talking about is the kingdom. This is the empire over here. The cherry tree that George Washington said he chopped down is that cherry tree.
The cherry tree George Washington chopped down was that little girl he was fucking. to steal the birthright, nigga, trying to make a baby. If you want to get into it, I get
George
into
Washington
it.
was listen, sir. George Washington was castrated. He couldn't even have fucking kids. What are you talking about?
Which one you talking about? Because you know he was switched out since you on your dean.
Now we going to semantics. We going
I'm
to
not
semantics.
going
I'm
to
talking
no
about the George
semantics. I'm
Washington
telling
that
you,
had no
George
teeth. I'm
Washington
talking about
was
the George
switched out.
Washington that had no teeth. I'm from Philadelphia. You can't tell me nothing about the history of George Washington at
Okay,
all.
your man made up then.
No. I got the history. He was in
Your
Philadelphia.
man made up.
Wait. I got the history in Philadelphia.
He said,
I got it from the Masonic Lodge, so go do your thing.
Where's the original Masonic Lodge at?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
So you telling me you're a Mason?
No, I'm not a Mason.
So how do you get in the lodge?
I broke in that motherfucker. Literally.
So you went in the Masonic Lodge, right? What do the
And took
Masonic
all they motherfucking secrets.
And what's the Masonic secret? If you know about it, what's the Masonic secret?
The Masonic secret is us. That them
We are
motherfuckers came over
Moors.
here.
That's the Masonic secret. The
No.
Mama's Parade in Philadelphia.
That's not it.
The Mama's Parade in wait, let me talk. The Mama's Parade in Philadelphia. The Mama's Parade in Philadelphia starts on Moore Street in Philly. I'm from Philly. I'm where the Mama's Parade happened at. You telling me some stuff that you broke into. I'm telling you stuff that I was born into. I don't understand about you telling me you broke into it. What? Yo, he said that he broke into it. So why they wear this? If the Moors is not important, why do they wear a shrine with it tied down at 33 degrees?
Because they're some idiots.
Because we went into Spain and got them out of the Dark Ages in 711 AD, and they took our science. This is
How they take it from y'all? How they take it from y'all?
We taught them the science. We taught them the science.
They can't never take it from the masters. The masters was in on that shit. Is what I'm trying to tell you. All of that shit is some smoke and mirrors bullshit used to trap your mind into some dogmatic argument on the low-level religious controversy, so you can't never see above level, so you can always stay below the plumb.
More science teach you to look within, not outside. So then what? More science teach you to look within self, not outside of self. So now what?
This is crazy.
It don't teach you about Jesus.
Okay.
It don't teach you about nobody outside of yourself.
Okay.